Horn shark egg. Imagine finding a giant screw underwater that can produce a baby. At first glance, it looks like a construction screw that somehow fell into the ocean. But it's actually the unusual egg of a horn shark. Over millions of years, horn sharks adapted to the harsh conditions of the ocean. As a result, they evolved spiral-shaped eggs with exceptional durability, giving their offspring a better chance of survival. Instead of having a hard calcium shell like a bird's egg, a horn shark egg is protected by this tough, spiral-shaped capsule. The unusual shape also works as a natural anchor, allowing the egg to wedge securely between rocks and coral so it won't be swept away by ocean currents. So if you ever see what looks like a giant screw on the ocean floor, it might not be made of metal at all. It could be a baby horn shark waiting for the right time to hatch. Cassowary egg. This looks like a giant emerald with a baby cassowary growing inside. The cassowary is one of the largest birds in the world, and a bird that big lays an egg that's just as remarkable. A cassowary egg has a striking color that makes it stand out from almost every other bird egg. It's not white, it's not brown. Instead, it's a brilliant emerald green, almost like a polished gemstone. This unusual color comes from high levels of a pigment called biliverdin, which gives the eggshell its rich green appearance. But the color isn't just beautiful. It also helps the eggs blend in with green grass and leaves, making them harder for predators to spot. So the emerald color isn't just for looks. It's one of the cassowary's ways of protecting its young in the wild. Stick insect eggs. To ants, these look like tiny bottles filled with milk and water. At first glance, they look just like plant seeds with little caps on top, but they're actually stick insect eggs that have been left in the ant's care. One of the most fascinating things in nature is deceptive camouflage, and that's exactly what's happening here. Stick insects drop their eggs one by one onto the forest floor, as if saying, "Keep living, even without your mother." The bottle-like shape tricks ants into thinking the eggs are food, so they carry them back to their nest. Inside the nest, the eggs stay protected from predators. The bottle cap is actually called the operculum. It's the part the baby stick insect pushes open when it hatches. So in a way, this clever design lets stick insects get free babysitters to protect their eggs until they're ready to hatch. Cuttlefish eggs. How can a bunch of grapes grow underwater? At first glance, these look like black grapes. But they're actually cuttlefish eggs attached to seagrass. These eggs are naturally clear or white at first. Later, they turn black because the mother covers them with her ink. This isn't accidental. It's a survival strategy that helps hide the eggs from predators since their color and shape blend in with the surrounding seagrass. Unlike bird eggs, which are protected by hard shells, cuttlefish eggs are enclosed in soft, flexible capsules that protect the developing embryos. The reason they look like a bunch of grapes is that the mother attaches dozens of eggs together using a natural sticky substance. Sometimes animals survive by copying nature itself, and these grape-like eggs are a perfect example. Kiwi egg. Imagine an egg so large that it comes from a bird much smaller than the egg itself. That's a kiwi egg. A kiwi egg proves that a small mother can produce an incredibly large egg. The egg weighs nearly 20% of the mother's body weight. At that size, it fills most of her abdominal cavity and often puts pressure on her internal organs. But this enormous size isn't an accident. Over millions of years of evolution, kiwis adapted by investing in one or two high-quality eggs instead of producing many lower-quality ones. That's why a kiwi egg is made up of nearly 65% yolk, providing the embryo with a huge supply of nutrients throughout its development. So the giant size of a kiwi egg is actually an evolutionary strategy that works well for animals living in environments with very few predators. Praying mantis eggs. This looks like a tiny time capsule that carries eggs safely into the future. At first glance, it looks like a small pod attached to a tree branch, but it's actually a praying mantis egg case. Instead of leaving their eggs exposed, praying mantises build a foamy capsule that hardens into a tiny fortress, protecting the embryos until it's time to hatch. Right after laying the eggs, the soft foam released by the female quickly hardens into a lightweight but incredibly strong protective case. Inside, there isn't just one baby. There are 100 to 400 developing praying mantises. Its unusual shape isn't just impressive to look at. It's designed to protect the eggs from predators and harsh weather, keeping the embryos safe until they hatch. The egg case can withstand rain, insects, and even larger animals, which often overlook it because its color blends in with tree branches. In the dangerous forest, animals have evolved their own survival strategies, and this tiny fortress is one of them. Emu egg. Only a small number of eggs in the world have truly unusual colors, and the emu egg is one of them. Instead of being white or brown, an emu egg looks like it was professionally color-edited in Photoshop. It has a dark green, almost black color that looks more like a piece of art than a bird's egg. Since emus are such large birds, they also lay large eggs. One emu egg weighs about the same as 12 chicken eggs. But the most fascinating thing about an emu egg is its color. Scientists have found that it actually has 3 different color layers. Beneath the dark green outer surface is a blue-green layer. Remove that layer, and the inner shell is white. That's why many artists use emu eggshells for carving. As they remove each layer, they reveal different colors and create detailed works of art. So this unusual egg doesn't just stand out because of its appearance. It also hides a unique beauty beneath its surface. Skate egg. This isn't a black face mask floating in the ocean. It's the beginning of one of the world's largest fish. A skate egg is one of the strangest eggs in the animal kingdom. Among thousands of different egg shapes, it may be one of the most unusual. Instead of being round or oval like most eggs, a skate egg completely breaks the mold. It looks like a small black wallet or a face mask with 4 long extensions at the corners that resemble straps. That's why scientists often call it a mermaid's purse. The reason for this unusual shape is simple: natural camouflage to protect it from ocean predators. Skate eggs take a very long time to develop, so staying hidden is their best chance of survival. Their flat purse-like shape also helps keep the egg capsule from rolling around or being carried away by ocean currents. That's why skates rely on the design of their eggs instead of guarding their young around the clock.